From the moment we first become aware of ourselves as distinct beings, a question begins to form, quietly at first, then with growing insistence. Who are we? It's a question composed of just 3 simple words, yet it contains multitudes. It's not just a query about our names or our families, but a deep, resonant inquiry into the very essence of our existence. It is perhaps the most profound question we can ever ask, because the answer defines our relationship with everything, with each other, with our planet, and with the vast, silent cosmos that surrounds us. It echoes in the heart of every child looking up at the stars for the first time. Think back. Can you remember it? That first time you truly the night sky, not just as a dark ceiling but as an infinite, glittering expanse. In that moment of pure wonder, the question isn't spoken but felt. What is all this? And what am I in the middle of it? This is where the journey of discovery begins, with an innocent upward glance. And the question doesn't leave us as we grow older, it simply changes its form. It whispers in the quiet moments of our lives, the hush after a storm, the solitude of a long walk, the holding of a newborn's hand. It's there when we stand before ancient ruins or gaze out over a seemingly endless ocean. In these moments of reflection, we contemplate our place in the vast, silent universe, and the fleeting nature of our own existence within its immense timeline. To truly seek an answer, we must become time travelers. This question compels us to journey backward, past the familiar faces of our parents and grandparents. We push further, beyond the recorded sagas of kings and queens, past the foundations of the first great cities. We travel deeper still, before the invention of writing, before the dawn of agriculture, to a time when our ancestors were nomadic hunters, painting their stories on cave walls. The inquiry doesn't stop there. It seeks the very beginning, pushing back through millennia, to the first spark of consciousness in a hominid mind, and even further, to the first single-celled organism stirring in the primordial soup. This relentless search for our origin story is a fundamental, unifying part of the human experience. It is a thread that connects every one of us, across every continent and every era. For millennia, we have woven intricate tapestries of myth and legend to explain our existence. Every culture has a story about its own beginning, tales of gods shaping humanity from clay, of cosmic eggs hatching the universe, or of ancestors emerging from a world below. These narratives gave us context, morality, and a sense of belonging. Today, we have a new kind of story, one told through the language of science, of genetics, fossils, and stardust. It is a story no less wondrous, and it is a story that belongs to all of us. Across every culture, humanity has gazed at the heavens and asked, where did we come from? Long before science, we answered with stories of divine creation. In the ancient Near East, one of the most influential emerged. It begins not with a bang, but with a word. The book of Genesis paints a picture of a formless, watery chaos. Over this abyss, the Spirit of God moves, and with a simple command, reality is born. Let there be light, he says, and there was light. Over 6 days, a divine artist brings order, separating sky from sea, raising the land, and filling the world with life. This methodical creation reaches its apex on the 6th day. God decides to create a being in his own image. He stoops, gathers dust, and breathes life into it, forming Adam, the first man. He is not just another creature, he is given dominion, a steward of this new world. This story establishes a unique personal relationship between the Creator and humanity, a central tenet for billions to this day. In ancient Greece, the birth of the cosmos was far more dramatic. Theirs was a saga of conflict and cunning among a pantheon of powerful, flawed deities. It began with chaos, from which emerged the Titans, who were eventually overthrown by the Olympians, led by Zeus. In this world shaped by power struggles, humanity's creation was delegated to the Titan Prometheus. He molded the first humans from clay in the image of the gods. But seeing them helpless, he defied Zeus, stole fire from the heavens, and gave this sacred flame to humanity. This gift was more than warmth, it was the spark of civilization, knowledge, technology, and art. It was the tool that allowed humans to forge their own path, to master their destiny, independent of the capricious gods on Olympus. Further north in the harsh lands of the Vikings, a more primal myth took hold. It begins in a void called Ginnungagap, where the fire of Muspelheim met the ice of Niflheim. From the melting ice the first being was formed, Ymir, a colossal frost giant. Ymir was slain by the gods Odin, Vili, and Ve, who then used his immense corpse to create the world. His flesh became the earth, his blood the oceans, his bones the mountains, and his skull the sky. With the world built, the gods found two logs on a shore, an ash and an elm. From these they carved the first humans, Ask and Embla. Odin breathed into them life, Vili gave them consciousness and V gave them senses, binding humanity directly to the raw materials of their world. From a spoken word, to a stolen fire, to a slain giant, these stories, though vastly different, reveal a shared human impulse to impose order on chaos and define our place in the universe. They are the foundational myths upon which civilizations were built, shaping our identity as a species. The 19th century was an age of empires, but also an age on the cusp of intellectual upheaval. For centuries, the story of life was believed to be fixed, each species a perfect and unchanging creation. But a new, more complex story was about to be told, and, at its heart, was a quiet English naturalist, Charles Darwin. Initially destined for the clergy, his journey would instead challenge the very foundations of belief. In 1831 he embarked on a 5-year voyage aboard the HMS Beagle. It was a rigorous scientific expedition that would change everything. In the Galapagos Islands he observed finches whose beaks were exquisitely adapted to their specific diets and tortoises with shells unique to each island. He saw patterns in the diversity, clues that hinted at a deeper process. He meticulously collected specimens and filled notebooks with observations, asking a simple but profound question: why? Darwin returned to England but hesitated, knowing his idea would be seen as an assault on the established order. He spent 2 decades amassing evidence. His hand was forced when another naturalist, Alfred Russel Wallace, independently conceived of the same theory. In 1859 Darwin finally published On the Origin of Species. The book was a bombshell, selling out on its first day and sending shockwaves through science and society. He called it natural selection. Darwin argued that within any population, individuals exhibit variations. Some of these traits, by pure chance, are more advantageous for survival and reproduction. These individuals are more likely to pass on their traits to the next generation. It's a relentless filtering process. Over immense stretches of geological time, this slow accumulation of favorable traits could not only modify a species, but create entirely new ones from a common ancestor. The most profound implication was that humans were not exempt. We were not a special creation, standing apart from nature, but an integral part of it. In his book, Darwin drew a simple diagram, the only illustration showing branches diverging from a common trunk. It was a tree of life. This single metaphor reshaped our understanding of ourselves, placing humanity as one twig on an immense family tree that connects all living things. The search for our place on that tree had begun. The hunt for fossils became one of science's greatest detective stories. In Africa's sun-baked landscapes, erosion revealed ancient bones. In 1974, they found Lucy. She was small, but her pelvis proved she walked upright 3.2 million years ago. More fossils revealed a complex family tree, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, each adding to our evolutionary drama. The Out of Africa theory proposes that modern humans evolved in Africa around 200,000 years ago. For thousands of generations we remained on our home continent, developing large brains and creative minds. Then, 60,000 years ago, a small group began a momentous journey. They walked out of Africa and colonized the entire planet. Modern genetics powerfully supports this theory. Human genetic diversity is highest in Africa. We are all, in a very real sense, Africans. Our shared heritage is written in our DNA. Some propose the ancient astronaut theory. What if extraterrestrials visited Earth and genetically engineered our ancestors? They point to massive ancient structures and argue these are too sophisticated for early humans to build alone. The simulation hypothesis proposes our entire reality might be a computer program created by a post-human civilization. Our universe could be nothing more than lines of code, our creators not gods but programmers. The story is not finished. Science has given us a powerful framework, but many questions remain. We're still uncovering our relationship with Neanderthals and Denisovans, still tracing migration patterns. Understanding our shared origin changes how we see each other. The differences we see are superficial. Beneath the surface, we are one family. Ultimately, the search for where we came from is a search for meaning, forcing us to confront our place in the cosmos. The act of asking, of searching, of wondering, that is what makes us human. It's the same spark that led our ancestors to paint the first cave wall and look up at the night sky asking, who are we, and where did we come from? The journey itself is the answer. We are a species that looks back, defined by our search for a beginning.